Hello. So I welcome you all to the class today. Uh, I hope all of you are doing fine and you had good vacations and you have enjoyed them. Well, now is study time and we would be starting with our lectures. We would be continuing with our lectures that we were doing before vacations. Now, I understand that there has been a gap between the last class and today's class. So let me just remind you what we had done in the last class. If I remember correctly, let me choose the pen correctly. Okay. If I remember correctly, the last thing, oops, is to, okay. I think the last thing that we did was spring force. Do we recollect this, everyone? Spring force, we had done problems on spring force. We had seen that the spring force was equal to Fs and this Fs was equal to K multiplied by X, where K is the spring constant and X is the extension or compression in the spring. And we used to write it in this fashion. Fs is minus Kx, minus sign indicating what? What was the minus sign indicating here? What was the minus sign indicating here? Minus sign indicating that, indicating what? Minus sign indicating that this force is opposite to the displacement from the mean position. If it is extended, it will try to pull. If it is compressed, it will try to push. We also had seen the difference between a spring and a string. A string can only pull, but spring can pull as well as push. Do we remember this? Can I have some raise hand that we remember this from the class, everyone? Okay, great. Great, so we remember this. So welcome back to the class. And we are up and running, and that's very good that we finished the class on this note, because this was the end of the force wala thing. Different types of forces. We are done with different types of forces. What we are going to start with today is a brand new topic, and this brand new topic is known as reference frames. Yeah, frames of reference. Reference frames or frames of reference. Did we do this topic earlier? No, na? Okay. Even if we have done it, maybe one class we did, maybe in the NEET batch I have done this class. Anyways, we'll again start with these reference frames. What do you mean by reference frames? Anyone has any idea? Now there are two types of reference frames that we are going to do. Anyone can give me any idea what these two types of reference frames are? Anyone has any idea about what these two types of reference frames are? The first type of reference frame, is known as inertial reference frame, and the second type of reference frame is known as non-inertial reference frame. Have you heard these terms? Have you heard these terms? Inertial and non-inertial reference frame. Anyone who has heard this term, please raise hands. No one seems to have learned this. Okay, not a problem. Now let us try to understand the first one, inertial reference frame. Now before going on to inertial reference frame, Let us go back and try to remember what do you mean by a reference frame. Does anyone remember what is a reference frame? We had defined rest, motion, and I have told you already that rest and motion are relative terms. Why are they relative terms? Because they depend on what? Anyone? Rest and motion, I told you, are relative terms. Why they are known as relative terms? Because they depend on reference frame. Now, what is a reference frame? A reference frame is nothing but a body or any object from where or which object is watching the motion. There must be an observer. Now, this observer can be standing on ground. This observer can be sitting in a bus or a train or a car or a cycle or an airplane, or this object or this observer can be walking on ground. Now, this is the observer who is going to observe the motion, and this observer actually becomes your reference frame. Now, whatever motion we have studied till now, were mostly with respect to Earth. Do we remember this? That most of the motions that we have studied till now were with respect to Earth. Can I have some raise hand that we remember this? Most of the questions that we did were questions done from Earth. Now, in the chapter of relative motion, we also had seen the motion with respect to other body. Do we remember that? We had seen motion of one body with respect to the other body. Do we remember this? Can I have some raised hands? Okay, we remember that. Now, in most of the cases, again, whether the motion was with respect to Earth or the motion was with respect to other body, most of the cases, 99.9% of the cases, the reference frame was inertial. Now, what is the inertial reference frame? Now, the definition of an inertial reference frame is very difficult to understand or to state, but I will try to state it in the least possible complicated manner. Inertial reference frame. Inertial reference frame. I hope you are also writing the notes. If you are not writing the notes, please make some running notes. I will send you this PDF after the class. You know that. You can make your good notes. Notes are very important. Without notes, you will not succeed in your life, in the exam. Inertial reference frame. Now, what are these inertial reference frame? Now, an inertial reference frame, IRF, is a reference frame. I am also writing. You can also write. Is a reference frame that is what? That is at rest or moving with a uniform velocity. Any reference frame which is at rest or moving with a non-uniform or moving with a uniform velocity, that means it should not be accelerated. So it should not be accelerated. There should not be any acceleration. Now, such reference frame will be known as inertial reference frame. But remember that rest and motion are relative terms. Now, when I say inertial reference frame, this inertial reference frame should be at rest or moving with uniform velocity. But when I am seeing this inertial frame, this inertial frame would be seen from some other frame, because rest and motion are relative terms. So there is a very small thing that I have to add here. With respect to another inertial reference frame. Now this makes the equation or definition very complicated, but you must understand that rest and motion are relative terms. Now, let us say, for example, for all practical purposes, remember, for all practical purposes, for all practical purposes, we can take earth or ground as an inertial reference frame. But we must understand whether earth is an inertial reference frame or not. Now remember, earth is rotating on its own axis. Earth is also moving, revolving around sun. That means earth is accelerated. And if earth is accelerated, earth cannot be an inertial reference frame. Then you can assume that sun can be an inertial reference frame, but we now also know that sun is also revolving around the center of the galaxy Milky Way. In that case, center of the galaxy Milky Way could be an inertial reference frame, but we also understand that the center of this galaxy Milky Way is also rotating about the center of the universe. That means the center of the universe could be an inertial reference frame, but again we understand that the universe is expanding and maybe the center of the universe is also accelerated. We don't know. So if we go that deep, any reference frame cannot be an inertial reference frame because everything is accelerating. Now, how do I get a perfect inertial frame? You have to go into space and you should be far, far away from all the planets, all the galaxies, all the stars. Now, the scientists believe, astrophysicists believe that there is a very big void in space where there's nothing. So probably if you go into that void, you will not be experiencing any force and you will not be accelerated. Then and then only you can become an inertial reference frame. Now, we are not going to go to that void. So what we are going to do is we are going to assume, remember, we are going to assume that earth is an inertial reference frame. We are going to assume that earth is an inertial reference frame. If we now take earth as a reference frame which is inertial, anything, any body, any object which is at rest on earth with respect to earth, or which is moving with a constant velocity with respect to earth, is an inertial reference frame. So for example, if I am sitting not moving, I am an inertial reference frame because I am not moving with respect to earth. If I am sitting in a bus and this bus is moving with a constant velocity, this bus is now an inertial reference frame. If you are in a train, car, aeroplane, or walking with uniform velocity with respect to earth, then you all become inertial reference frame, assuming that earth is a inertial reference frame. Do we all understand this? Can I have some raise hand that we have understood this? The concept of inertial reference frame, here we have assumed, okay, here we have assumed that earth is a inertial reference frame. So any body which is moving with constant velocity with respect to earth, or which is at rest with respect to earth, that is the inertial reference frame. So what are the important points that you must remember? Important points. Number one, this inertial reference frame must be at rest or moving with uniform velocity with respect to Earth. Remember, here we have assumed that Earth is an inertial reference frame. Number two, it should not be accelerated. That means it must be at rest or moving with a constant velocity. Third point that you must remember is Newton's laws of motion, NLM, are only valid. Newton's laws are only valid in IRF, IRF being the what? Short form of inertial reference frame. So this is all that we need to understand about inertial reference frame. Can I have some raise hand that we have understood this from the class, everyone? Anyone has a doubt? Can ask the doubt after the class, in the class, doesn't matter. So this is all about inertial reference frames. Everyone in the online class, Reddy, Sainath, Kevin, do we understand this beta? Okay. Having understood inertial reference frame, it becomes very easy to understand non-inertial reference frame. Now, I will not say anything about the non-inertial reference frame. Non-inertial reference frame. Now, I would ask you to tell me what would be a non-inertial reference frame, NIRF. I'll call them NIRF. NIRF is also a rating system which rates colleges in India. NIRF, what is a non-inertial reference frame? Can you tell me? Anyone? Tell me what is a non-inertial reference frame? No one would like to share his or her thoughts? What could be a non-inertial? Just one, you are correct. Non-uniform velocity. Yes. Any frame of reference. Any reference frame. Any reference frame with that is accelerated. Any reference frame that is accelerated with respect to an inertial reference frame. In this case, we are taking this as Earth. So any frame of reference which is accelerated with respect to Earth is NIRF. Do we understand this? Non-inertial reference frame. Any reference frame that is accelerated with respect to a non-inertial reference frame becomes a non-inertial reference frame. Or you can say it in this way. You must have done sets. In this set of reference frame, there are only two quantities, inertial, non-inertial. Either it is inertial. If it is not inertial, it has to be non-inertial. So it is a binary system, 0 or 1. 0 means inertial, 1 means non-inertial. Do we understand this? 0 and 1, there are only two inertial frames possible. Either it is inertial or it is non-inertial. Clear? So what you must remember about this? Number one, this non-inertial reference frame is accelerated. It is accelerated with respect to inertial reference frame. Number two, or you can say this is, as someone said, it is moving with a non-uniform velocity. So you can even write this. It is moving with non-uniform velocity with respect to inertial reference frame. Now the most important aspect here is number three. What is that most important aspect? Newton's laws of motion are not, and this not is very important, are not, Newton's laws of motion are not Newton's laws of motion are not valid in their original form. In their original form, they are not valid. You cannot apply Newton's laws of motion in a non-inertial reference frame. Then how you can apply? If you want to make equation from a non-inertial frame, what you have to do? You'll have to apply pseudo forces. Pseudo forces are applied to make Newton's laws of motion valid. So you have to apply something known as pseudo forces so that you can make this Newton's laws of motion valid. Now the question comes, what are these pseudo forces and why do I need to apply it? Anyone would like to share his thoughts? What are these pseudo forces? Have you heard the term pseudo forces before? Can you throw some light on it? Yes, sir, we know what is a pseudo force. Anyone could put in some light on what is a pseudo force? What do you mean by a pseudo force? Anyone? Okay. False force. Yes, students. False force. It's a good way of saying this false force. Yes. Let us try to understand it with an example. Let us say that this is a lift and this is lift is moving upwards with a uniform velocity v, or this lift is at rest. Can take any of these two cases. Remember, in physics, something moving with a uniform velocity or it is at rest, they all mean the same thing. Something at rest or moving with a uniform velocity in physics, one and the same thing. So this lift could be at rest or moving with a uniform velocity. Then what do I have in this lift? I have a small mass m attached to the ceiling of the lift. I have two brothers, twin brothers, hulks, the blue hulk and the green hulk. Hulk is always green, but my son says that in some video game he has seen a red hulk and a blue hulk, some GTA game, something. Cat. Green hulk, blue hulk. Now, this green hulk and blue hulk, they all understand physics. They have also attended the class. So now someone asks, this green hulk, you see a block hanging. This green hulk doesn't know what is happening in the outside world. Remember, if you remember relative motion, when you are sitting on the bus, I told you the bus is not going anywhere. Bus is just there. Everything else is moving. I told you that, right? And we had done some questions on relative motion there. So he doesn't know what is happening outside. He just sees, okay, block hanging from the ceiling. Everything is blank. He does not see what is happening outside. I told you, if you are sitting in a train or a bus and you are blank from everywhere, you don't see anything, no trees, no road, you will not be able to make out whether you are moving or not. He does not see anything. He says, okay, I see a block. So tension T is upwards because the string is pulling it. The weight mg is downwards. Mg. The block does not move. The block is in equilibrium. So he will just write the equation as T equates mg. That is the equation that he is going to write. And this equation is exactly correct because there is nothing wrong in it. T is equal to mg. Now, This blue Hulk is also going to write the equation. Now, what does the blue Hulk see? Blue Hulk has a different view. Green Hulk doesn't know that he is moving upwards. The blue Hulk sees that he is moving upwards, but he sees that this is moving upwards with a uniform velocity. So he draws a free body diagram. He says T upwards, mg downwards, T upwards, mg downwards. The block is still in equilibrium because it is not accelerated. So upward force must be equal to downward force. He writes the equation T is equal to mg. Now they both check their equations. Blue Hulk says T is equal to mg. Green Hulk says T is equal to mg. Everything is okay, and the world goes on. Everything is okay in this world. Nothing is wrong in this world. Now let us move on to a different case, different scenario in this red lift. Let us move on to this red lift. Now the problem with this red lift is a simple problem that it is accelerated upwards. Nothing else has changed. This lift has started to accelerate, the red lift. Now again, I have the same block hanging here, block of mass m, and then I have these two hulks. They don't have any job to do, so they are helping us in understanding the reference frame. And then there is the blue hulk. Okay. Now someone tells green hulk, the green person who is inside the lift, what do you see? You just draw a free body diagram and give us your equation. So what does he see? He sees, okay, block is hanging, T is upwards, free body diagram, mg is downwards. Remember, he is blank from the entire world, does not know what is happening in the entire world. He says T is upwards, mg is downwards. His equation is simply T is equal to mg. From his world, nothing has changed because it does not see what is happening outside. But now let us see, what does the blue hulk see? Blue hulk sees that, okay, T is upwards, he agrees on this. Mg is downwards, he also agrees on this. Remember, this T and mg are real forces, real forces. They exist. They have existence. Mg is the weight of the body. If the body has mass, it will be pulled towards earth, it will have weight. It is hanging by a string. The string will exert a force on it. It's a real force. I can't hide it. You go to any reference frame, real forces will always remain real. They will not disappear. Sir, I go to some reference frame, I will find some force getting disappeared. No, forces don't disappear. Real forces don't disappear. So he says, okay, T is upwards, mg is downwards. But he says, wait. This lift is going upwards with an acceleration. That means the block is also going upwards with the same acceleration. What equation does he write? He writes the equation T is upwards, mg is downwards, acceleration is upwards. So he writes the equation T upwards minus mg downwards is equal to ma. This is the equation that the blue hulk writes. Now they both compare their equations, the blue equation and the green equation. The blue equation is T minus mg is equal to ma. The green equation is T is equal to mg. Now, both of these equations cannot be correct. Someone is correct, someone is wrong. Who is correct? Who is wrong? The red, the blue one, or the green one? Give me an answer. Who is correct? Who is wrong? For green one, raise hands. No one is raising hands for green one. For blue one, please raise hands. I see one or two hands being raised for the blue one. The correct answer is the blue equation is the correct equation. Because this equation is written from Earth and Earth is an inertial reference frame. Newton's laws of motion are valid only on Earth, reference frame of Earth. The green equation is definitely wrong. This green equation is definitely wrong because It has been made from a non-inertial reference frame sitting in the lift, which is accelerated. But sometimes we will require, it becomes easy to write the equation or to understand the motion from a non-inertial frame. It is easier. So we should also understand how to make equations from non-inertial frame. But Newton laws are not valid. To make Newton laws are valid, we must apply some imaginary forces, non-real forces. Those non-real forces are known as pseudo forces. So now, do we understand why there is a need of pseudo forces? Can I have some raised hands? Why do we have pseudo forces? Why do we need pseudo forces? Do we understand this? Can I have some raised hands? Only one student has understood this. If you are making equations, of a body from a non-inertial frame, Newton's laws are not valid. To make them valid, we have to apply imaginary forces. Those forces are known as pseudo forces. So what are pseudo forces? Pseudo forces are imaginary forces. Please, I hope you are writing. Pseudo forces are imaginary forces applied in non-inertial reference frame to make Newton's laws of motion valid. They are not real but fictional forces, not frictional. Fictional means they do not exist. They're only in fiction. They're only in your imagination. Now, whenever we think about pseudo forces, pseudo force is a force. Force is a vector. So this pseudo force must have two things. They must have magnitude and they must have direction. They must have magnitude, they must have direction. Now, what is the direction of this pseudo force? It is opposite to the direction of acceleration. Remember, pseudo force are only applied when you make equations from non-inertial frame. If it is a non-inertial frame, it must have acceleration. Direction of pseudo force is opposite to acceleration. If acceleration is upwards, pseudo force is downwards. If acceleration is downwards, pseudo force is upwards. If acceleration is left, pseudo force is right. If acceleration is right, pseudo force is left. Do we understand this? Okay. What is the magnitude of pseudo force? Magnitude of pseudo force is m multiplied by a. M is the mass of the body whose equations you are making. A is the acceleration of your reference frame. Let us summarize all these points point by point. I will summarize them. Number 1 point, these are not real forces. These are imaginary forces. Number 2, applied only in non-inertial reference frames. Number 3, magnitude of pseudo force is m multiplied by a. Number 4, Direction of pseudo force is opposite to acceleration. Do we understand this? Can I have some raised hands from everyone who is sitting in the class as well as everyone who is in the virtual class? Great, 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 great. Now let us go back. Let us go back. Where? Oh, the diagram will look very ajib sa. So I'll make a new diagram, a bigger one. Let us go back to the case where I had this red lift and this red lift was accelerating upwards. I had this mass M and I had this green Hulk. I had this blue Hulk. Let us first understand what equation blue Hulk wrote. He said T upwards, mg downwards, acceleration upwards. So he wrote the equation as T minus mg upwards minus downwards is equal to m into a upwards. This is the equation which is the correct equation which was written by the blue Hulk. Now let us understand what green Hulk wrote. He wrote, he saw mg downwards, real force. He saw T upwards, real force. He wrote the equation as T is equal to mg. He does not see any motion. He sees the body in equilibrium. But wait. Now the green Hulk understands that he may be in a non-inertial frame. So he asked the blue Hulk, tell me, is this lift accelerated? Am I standing in a non-inertial frame? The blue Hulk says, yes. Yes, you are in a non-inertial frame. I can see that. So the green Hulk says, okay, then I have to correct my equation. And how does he correct his equation? He says, okay, tell me, what is the direction of acceleration? Blue Hulk says, upwards. So now he applies the force downwards because acceleration is upwards. He then asks, okay, tell me what is the magnitude of acceleration. Blue Hulk says A. So he says, okay, the mass of the body is M. So I'll apply a force MA, which is downwards. Now he says, okay, now what do I see? I see T upwards. I see mg downwards, real forces, but there's also one more frictional force, imaginary force coming because of non-inertial frame, which is downwards. I still see the block in equilibrium. I don't see them moving. It is not accelerated. So my equation will be T is equal to mg plus ma. T is the upward force. mg and ma are the downward forces. This is my equation. Now let us compare both equations. Blue Hulk says T minus mg is equal to ma. Green Hulk says T is equal to mg plus ma. Are they the same equations now? Can I have some raised hand? Are they the same equation? Yes, they are the same equations now. Green Hulk has corrected his equation. He now understands that he is in a non-inertial frame. He has to apply pseudo force. He has applied the pseudo force. Direction of the pseudo force downwards because acceleration is upwards. Magnitude of pseudo force is mass multiplied by acceleration. Can I move forward? Have you understood this concept? Yes or no, everyone? Okay, great. So now what I'll do is I'll make I will make these three cases. And all of you have to write the equation of this block from non-inertial reference frame from inside the lift. So all of you have to become green hulks and write the equation from the green reference frame of this block of mass m. I am making 4 cases. In all the cases, you have to write the equation from the left. In all the 4 cases, you have to write the equation from the left. Let us start. I'll give you 2 minutes to think about it. Case number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. I hope you can see this. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Your time starts now. I'll give you time, don't worry. I know today is the first day of your class. You might be feeling a bit different, not so active. So I'll give you time. One more minute. In all the cases, you have to write the equation from the green hull point of view. Let us write the equation now. First case, T upwards, mg downwards. The lift is moving with a uniform velocity. So it is still inertial reference frame. So the equation becomes T is equal to mg. There is no acceleration. So you should not apply any pseudo force. All of us got this? Can I have some raised hands? Okay. Second case, again, real forces mg, real forces T. It is moving with a uniform velocity, still inertial frame. T is equal to mg is the answer again in this case. In case number 3, T is upwards, mg is downwards, real forces, but this reference frame is accelerated upwards. Accelerated upwards. So pseudo force must be downwards. Red one, the pseudo force downwards. Value is m into a. How do I write the equation now? T is upwards, mg is downwards, T is equal to mg. No, T is not equal to mg because I need to add plus ma. That becomes the third equation. I hope all of you got this. For the fourth case, mg is downwards. We all know this. T is upwards. But here the acceleration A is downward, so I have to apply a force upwards, pseudo force. The value of this pseudo force is m into A. Now what do I see? T is upwards, ma is upwards, mg is downwards. What equation I write? T plus ma, unreal force, imaginary force, is equal to real force mg. That becomes my equation number 4. So this is how you write equation from a non-inertial reference frame. You have to add pseudo forces and the pseudo force must be opposite to the acceleration and the value is m multiplied by a. Do we all get this? Can I have some raised hands? Okay. We'll do one more example here today before winding up the class for today. One more example on pseudo force where I would be asking you to draw the diagram from non-inertial frame and write the equation from the non-inertial frame. I will not draw the green gentleman because I know that we know that you have to draw it from the green gentleman point of view. In first case, it is moving downward with a uniform velocity. Oh, why I have made this? Just a minute, just a minute. Lift तो हो चुका है. So what do I do is I would make weighing machines now. Lift is already done. So I'll make weighing machines now. Again, this lift. Now the man is standing on this lift in a weighing machine. The man is standing on a weighing machine. The mass of the man is m. You have to find out the reading in the weighing machine. Remember, the reading in the weighing machine is always the normal reaction. So basically, they're asking the value of normal reaction. Second case, again, man ka mass is m. Lift is moving upwards with a velocity v. Third case, man is standing on the weighing machine. Weight is m. It is moving downwards with an acceleration a. Fourth case, it is moving upwards with an acceleration a. In all the 4 cases, you have to find out the reading in the weighing machine. Your time starts now. Reading in the weighing machine is what we are asking. How many of you have done this? Can you raise hands and tell me? Okay, you are trying. I'll give you time. Don't worry. It's simple. You have to find out the value of normal reaction. That's as simple as it gets. 1 more minute. What about the online students? Tarun, Surendra, Sai, Kevin, Yashwant. Are we getting the answers, beta? One more minute. So now let us draw the free body diagram of this man. I'll draw it with the blue ink. The weight of the man, mg, is downwards. The normal reaction on the man is n upwards. I am making this equation from inside the lift. The lift is, as you can see, moving down with a constant velocity v. There is no acceleration. So my reference frame is still inertial reference frame. So the equation I will make will be T is equal to mg. Nothing has changed. The reference frame is still inertial. Second case, real force mg downwards, normal reaction from the weighing machine, n upwards, which is the reading in the weighing machine. Velocity v is upwards, doesn't matter. It is still an inertial reference frame. T is equal to mg. That becomes the equation. Whether you write it from the left or you write it from the inertial reference frame, or both have to be same. In third case, weight of the man is mg downwards. Normal reaction from the machine is n upwards, but it is now accelerated downwards. So I have to apply pseudo force upwards. The value of the mass of the man is m, acceleration is a, so it becomes ma upwards. Now my equation becomes n upwards, ma, which is pseudo force, which I've applied, ma upwards. That must be equal to mg downwards. Do we understand this, everyone? Can I have some raise hand that we understand this? From here, I can find the value of n. N will be equal to mg minus ma. That will be the reading that is shown in the weighing machine. Can I have some raise hand that we understand this? Reading in the weighing machine would be n, which is equal to mg minus ma. What happens in the last case? Same thing happens. Mg is the real force, cannot change. Normal reaction is the real force, cannot change. But here, this banda, we are making the equation from the left. Remember, we are making equations from the left. This left is a non-inertial reference frame. Acceleration is upwards. So pseudo force is downwards, and the value is m into a. What will be the equation in this case? N is upwards, and is equal to mg is downwards. But I'm making this equation from the left, which is a non-inertial reference frame, plus ma, and this is how the equation change. Normal reaction becomes mg plus ma. Can I have a raise hand from you last time that we have understood how I made these equations? Is there any doubt from anyone? Case number 1, inertial reference frame. Case number 2, inertial reference frame. Case number 3, non-inertial reference frame. Acceleration is downwards. So pseudo force is upwards. Case number 4, acceleration is upward. Pseudo force is downward. This is how we have done questions today. What we have done today, let us have a quick recap of what we have done today. What have we done today? Quick recap. Number 1, we had seen what are inertial and non-inertial reference frame. We have seen that for all practical purposes, Earth can be treated as an inertial reference frame, ground or Earth, anything which is moving with a uniform velocity or at rest will be treated as a inertial reference frame. Newton laws of motion are only valid in an inertial reference frame in their original form. If you are in an inertial reference frame, just apply your Newton's law of motion in the original form. no need to apply any pseudo force. But if you are in a non-inertial reference frame, what is a non-inertial reference frame? A non-inertial reference frame is a reference frame which is accelerated with respect to what? Newton laws of motion will not be valid. Newton laws of motion will not be valid in a non-inertial reference frame. To make them valid, what we need to do? We need to apply pseudo force. What is a pseudo force? Non-real force, imaginary force. The magnitude of this non-real force or imaginary force, the magnitude is m into a. The direction is opposite to the direction of acceleration. Just apply this pseudo force from your non-inertial reference frame and your equations will now become valid. We also did few examples where we use this non-inertial reference frame and pseudo force. We'll continue on this pseudo force in the next class. If you have any doubts, you can now raise those doubts. I would be posting this in your group so you can see them. And if you have any doubt, please come up to me. The class from my end is over. If there are any doubts, please come. I am waiting for your doubts.